Hello, it's Monday, time for another stream. Today I will be doing chapter 13 and 14 Director's Commentary, because I realised I hadn't done that. I'm not doing 15 because I'd like to save that to do with 16, because it's nice to do two together. I'm going to make sure I get the volume just right. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Feels strange to think it's Monday already, but there we go. Did enter the fan film contest that was running quite recently. I finished that just in time. Hopefully, well, I'm going to release the video on Thursday, because Thursday is always release day. I'm looking forward to sharing this. It's just a 2-minute video that Star Wars themed, obviously. It's nothing to do there to the Empire, but because of the way the contest rules were. But it was a good little test, and if I win, then some of the prizes will be really helpful for Heir to the Empire. So that is obviously worth taking the time to do. That's on top of the lip sync competition that I'm still waiting to hear the results for. Actually, I think the contest is still running. Matthew, I'm looking forward to chapter 16 as well. Been working on it. Still waiting for some of the dialogue, which kind of limits what I can accomplish just yet, but it's coming along quite nicely with what I've been able to do so far. Floopy, hello, welcome. I think I said last week that I'm really excited for 16 and the halfway point. It's strange to think that we're actually at the halfway point of the book, or nearly. Once the chapter's done, it's half of the book done. Brandon, I'm glad you found Heir to the Empire, and I hope you enjoy the other content on my channel as well. I'm working on chapter 16. It's not finished yet. I can't give you a date. Still waiting for some of the dialogue, but it's coming along. So hopefully you'll stick around and follow the rest of the series as they're released. Today I'm going to be doing Director's Commentary on chapter 13 and 14. I was thinking about it earlier and I thought, it's been a while since I've done one of these, and then I realised I hadn't done 13 and 14. So it's about time I fixed that. I'm not going to do 15 because I'd like to save that to do with 16, because I can make a big thing about it for the halfway point. What's happening in chapter 16? It follows on from the end of 15. So Thrawn's Trap. I don't want to give away too much because if you haven't read the book, there's spoilers. If you have read the book, then you know you're in for an exciting chapter. I'm really pleased with the way it's looking so far. Flippy, let's see, when you finish the whole book. I could make a trailer for Dark Force Rising, but wouldn't it be better just to make Dark Force Rising? I'm not committing to that project just yet, because I do feel like I should probably finish Heir to the Empire. But yeah. We'll see how I feel getting closer to the end of the Heir to the Empire. I'll start thinking about how I'm going to handle Dark Force Rising, but I'm a bit of a way to go before we get there, so I'm not going to drive myself mad thinking about it too much. I just answered your question as you were typing it, I think. Yes, errors and mistakes is going to happen in the next chapter. Like I said, I was waiting for some of the dialogue, but I do have all of Thrawn's dialogue, including that line, and I can't wait to share it. And well, I can't wait to animate it and then share it when it's finished because it's so good. Alex, thank you. That's very kind of you. Feeling a little bit rough because I had my flu shot today. Obviously worth doing. But of course, it does make you feel a bit rubbish. Yes, it is a very memorable scene. Robotic Pope, welcome. Just a moment. Okay, back now. Yes. Don't worry, your sound's fine. It's just me stepping away for a moment. I'm going to start the stream, the commentary in a moment. We are respond to the comments first. Robotic Pope, welcome. Floopy, yes, it's one of my favourite scenes as well. It's probably my favourite scene in the book. So it's a huge thrill to bring it to life. Excuse me. That must be Alex. Yeah, it must be challenging to have to do those tests every day. I don't envy you. What is it you actually do? Brandon, yes, it is my own original story. I hope you're enjoying it. Everything should be on the channel. No, the last installment isn't on the channel yet. I need to release it, but I haven't got around to doing that yet. The movie edit of it, anyway. B Fetship, welcome. Ah, Cardiff, not far from me. I live near Bath. If you do anything at the Motorpoint Arena, I used to go to Cardiff Film and Comic Con when they were running that. So if you were there part of that, we might have run into you. But I can understand why you'd have to be tested regularly for that job. Yeah. So we probably have met without even realising it. It's a small universe. Alright, I think it's time to start the stream, otherwise start the commentary, otherwise we'll never get started. Yeah, the public. Right, let me know the volume. It's been a while since I've done this, and obviously my volume settings have changed, and preference was to hear me over the top of the over the top of the sound. So let me know if it's too loud or too quiet, and I will adjust it accordingly. So let's get started. Actually, I'm going to start before I actually press play with some commentary. This background, it's a picture of the sky that I took last year during lockdown. I was sitting outside looking up. There's a very unusual cloud formation, so I took a picture of it thinking it would be perfect for the Nuklon scenes, because I had this idea that it's very close to the sun, so you might get some little it kind of makes it look like there's mist coming up off the planet. Joe Blow, well, this is your chance to... I'm going to be doing commentary for 14. I won't be doing 15, but hopefully you don't mind me talking over the events of 14. Although if you decide to tune out and go and watch it without me talking, that you're more than welcome to do that. No problem. Hope you enjoy watching chapter 14 and 15. I do understand that you don't want to hear me talking about talking over it when you haven't seen it yet. Floopy, not typically. It's just the sky. At the Star Destroyer I added extra. Although I did have some fun with the Star Destroyer miniature in the sky for the Armada game. Well, I figured that Thrawn with... I'm going to tie Ghostfish. Trying to find a decent Dreadnought model is difficult. I wanted one that had a lot of detail on it. And that was the model I found that had that, because we're going to get close up to the city. As for the TIE fighters, I figured Thrawn would have them modified. So instead of the usual lasers, they'd have ion cannons, specifically to disable the mole miners, and the TIE fighters would be providing escort for the transports. Anyway, let's get started, because I said we would, and we still haven't. So yeah, talks about the sky, and you'll see it all through the chapter. You see this steam coming off the hull of the Star Destroyer because it's so close to the atmosphere, but it's also really hot from coming in close to the sun.
About that Star Destroyer, R2. You just keep trying to find a way through that jamming. Luke, I'm here.
That's fair enough. I just couldn't find a decent model for it.
Lando's scrambling the fighters he's got by keeping them close to the city. Where'd the attack front then? Let's try this. I'll run ahead. Try to confuse or slow them down. You follow right behind me and take them out.
This battle sequence is a lot of fun to do.
Here they come.
Make the video a little louder. Yep, I can do that. Small increments because I don't want to make it too loud.
Leia's on it.
Trying to find a decent mole miner model is quite difficult as well, because some of these ships are fairly obscure, so that there aren't that many people making models of them. I know we didn't actually see the stormtroopers in the book doing this, but it felt like it's something that was needed for the visual take on the chapter. Heir of Thrawn, welcome.
Luke? Ben? Not Ben. You will come to me, Luke. Who are you? You will find me.
I got chills when I heard this dialogue for the first time.
Until then, farewell.
Reaper Man, excuse me.
Leia.
Reaper Man, I'm glad you enjoyed seeing the mole miners and the city so much.
Sure, what's wrong? You planning to chase them all the way home?
I remember when I read the book the first time, imagining the Star Destroyer flying away and Luke just chasing after it, so kind of bringing that to life was a lot of fun.
Lost track of them during the fight.
I must have lost track of time.
It's one of those changes from the book that I felt was important, because I understand why it's not in the book, but we need to see it, and so we know it happens from the way the book's written, so I just took those notes and then applied my imagination to it.
They fulfilled their mission and obtained 51 of the mole miner machines you sent them.
And of course we got a Thrawn scene. Excuse me, I'm just having a drink of water.
They fulfilled their mission. How many times do you intend to ask me the same?
It's a really good Star Destroyer model. Yeah, it's much better than the one I was using originally. It's got a lot more detail on it, so you can have close-up shots,
I had
which is nice to have too.
What I had was a conversation with Luke Skywalker.
Explain.
He's there right now, Grand Admiral. He arrived just ahead of the Judicator.
Skywalker is there. And you said nothing to me.
I told you before, Grand Admiral.
Yeah, some people have
You will leave
said that they're not a fan of that,
Skywalker alone.
but I understand why they did it in Rebels, which say that as the audience, we can see which is the Chimera when there's a whole fleet of Star Destroyers. And I thought we need to do the same thing here, because there are lots of fleet battles, and it really does help to be able to say, oh, that's the one that Thrawn's on. If you think about A New Hope, they gave Darth Vader a TIE Advance, so that as the audience we know exactly which ship he's flying. And in The Empire Strikes Back you get the Super Star Destroyer again, so you know that is Vader's ship. So it's the same thing here.
Captain Bellion, how long will it take to repair the damage? Who's adjudicator?
Several days at least.
It is a little out of character for him,
We'll go to the rendezvous.
but I understand it from the cinematic reasons. In character, what he would probably do is paint a different Star Destroyer with the design
Yes.
to throw people off.
I will rest now, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Let me if you need my assistance.
And keep changing it as much as resources would allow.
I want a course projection, Captain. The most direct line.
I'm glad he looks demented. He's meant to.
At the best speed an X-wing could take.
Yes, sir. Even if Skywalker leaves immediately, there won't be any problem getting Sabayoff to Jomark ahead of him.
Indeed. What I need is a bit more challenging.
I'm a huge fan of TIE Fighter. If you check some of my other streams, I've been replaying it and streaming it. So yeah, bringing some of those ships back is something that it's important to me. So if we've seen some other ships that I've brought back as well in it included, like the freighter, the transport platforms.
Skywalker's projected approach
Um,
and ambush him.
I can't think. I'm sure I put more in that I can't think of offhand, but I plan to keep doing that.
Decide whether to capture him for Sabayon or simply kill him.
I respectfully suggest that we still make every possible effort to take Skywalker alive, particularly since his death might induce Sabayoff to leave Jomark and return to Wayland.
Interesting points, Captain.
Actually, one of the things he could have done is to paint several Star Destroyers with the design and have them appear, do hidden run attacks all over the galaxy, all at similar times. So it makes it look like Thrawn is everywhere and you don't know where he really is, and you're kind of wondering, how did he do it? How did he get from one place to another so quickly?
It's time to be going.
The Errant Adventure would be fun to do. I just got the audiobook for Rogue Squadron, which I need to start listening to at some point. Right, so that's chapter 13. Pause there for a second. It was fun to do the little homage to the probe droids launching from the beginning of The Empire Strikes Back. I'm working my way through the Ascendancy. I'm near the end of the first book. Well, I'm listening to it because I've got the audiobook, so because I can listen to those when I'm doing other things. So I'm a little bit behind on it. I know. Excuse me. So I haven't touched the second book yet, and I know the third one comes out in November. So no spoilers, please. The dancing Lobot would make a lot of sense on the Errant Venture. Just imagining the potential there. Alright, I'm going to get on with the next chapter. 1 second. I'm losing my voice a little bit, so if I get a bit croaky, I do apologise. Oh. Let's go full screen. And yeah, let's get on to chapter 14. We get to see the close-up of the city. Before I start, I'm going to say that again in one of my previous streams, I showed animating the walkers, or one walker, and the idea was I'd animate one and then just copy and paste it multiple times so you got the whole lot under there. So if you go back on my channel and check out some of my previous videos, you'll find the one where I show how I did that. I could make that as a series, but then it would take time away from Heir to the Empire. Anyway, let's so now you're really tempting me to make that, because I'm imagining the possibilities now. Maybe. If I can figure out how to do another story without slowing down Heir to the Empire, I'll give it some thought. Anyway, let's get on with chapter 14, because I don't want to lose my voice before we finish it. There we go. If you look closely, you can see their legs are moving underneath. I just pointed at the screen and realised none of you can see me pointing at the screen.
51. 51 of my best mole miners. Almost half my workforce. I'm sorry. I'm neglecting my duties as host, aren't I? Welcome to Nomad City.
So previously Lando's only had a brief cameo in chapter 12. So this is his first proper appearance, and it's nice to bring him into the story.
There's been no bounty offered, though.
How can you be sure?
Because I would have heard about it. We get our share of shady people here. Just because I'm respectable doesn't
Yes,
mean
the
I'm
pink
not-
lights that you guys helped me
I told you
choose.
they have contacts. So which of them do you trust, Lando?
So
Excuse me.
the guy voicing Lando is also the same guy that's voicing Han and
What
Luke.
kind of transmitter? This kind, probably. I thought
So
you
he's
were
having a
just-
three-way conversation with himself in this chapter.
It's all
He
right.
also does 3PO and Obi-Wan, Akbar and Wedge.
Interesting.
Very talented guy, Matt Finish.
Years.
If you check the
Buried in the middle of a swamp. R2 couldn't tell me what it was.
yeah, and the sofa colours. If you check the notes for this chapter, the description, you'll find a link to his channel where he does some excellent impersonation videos. Joe Bladley, you're very kind, thank you.
R2 said he saw you with one just after Cloud City.
My personal ship was rigged. Vader's people must have found it and shut it down because it sure didn't come when I called it. You found
So
it
Matt
this-
Finish, he does,
On Dagobah.
in his impersonation videos on his channel, he does every male voice from the
This must have been his.
prequels and original trilogy,
Absolutely
and he does them
famous with the
all
dark
so well.
I think it must have been the place where he died.
So he does a really good Vader and
You were talking
Palpatine and
about Lando's smuggler contacts.
Count Dooku and so on.
I need to know which one of
So
these
yeah, be
charges is
sure to
legal
check out his channel.
trust. Well, depends on what you need to trust them with.
It was really fun to have the audience, you guys,
You're not serious.
watching me design this room and choosing the colours for the lights and the sofas and all that.
How they're getting their information.
I really enjoyed that, so I'm hoping that next time I design something for a chapter, I can do that again so that you can see how it's made, and then I get your input, and then when you actually see it in the completed video, you can all think, well, you were here when I did that and contributed to the discussion. That was a lot of fun.
That I trust? Not really. The only one who might even come close is Talon Card. Everyone I've talked
Reaper
to
Man, I
is
hope
totally honest in his dealings.
so far Mara hasn't appeared so much in this
Trying to
story because
launch the contact.
that's the way the book's written, but I hope when
God doesn't go around
um,
flaunting his power and influence. I'm not even sure where his
when
name
Mara starts making a bigger
says that if you want.
a presence felt more towards the second half of the book, that your daughter enjoys seeing what her namesake is up to, and it's a good name for her, and I'm glad that you're enjoying
He accepts you under his
the series with your family. I hope they're all enjoying it as well.
Then she'll be doubly protected.
right. Except Chewie thinks it'd be better if we split up. He takes Leia to Kashyyyk. I fly around in the phone.
I do like hearing comments like that, so thank you.
Makes sense to me. You can use my ship, Chewie. In fact, if you want company, Han, I'll come along with you. Sure.
Then Han sends messages to Coruscant pretending to be Leia.
I think we can do it.
I'm excited for the Mara Jade
You still
chapters.
have 3PO?
It's one of my favourite characters, so
Great. Let's
yes,
go talk to my chief
looking
soldier.
forward to working on those.
finished already?
My part is.
Nice little
3PO
brother
sitting
sister
there.
moment here.
I was going to ask if you'd come to Kashyyyk with me, but it looks like you've got somewhere else to go.
I'm not running out on you, Leia. Really, I'm not. This is something that could mean more for you and the twins than anything I can do on Kashyyyk.
I was talking to someone yesterday about motion capture.
Can you at least tell
'Cause
me
I do all the motion capture for this in my living room,
I don't know yet.
and so
Someone out there I have to find, but I'm not sure where to start looking.
rather than using stock animations, being able to do the motion capture
I don't think
means
this
that each
box is
character
anywhere near
looks
solid enough to chase
and
after.
moves uniquely
What's he
and more authentic. These,
Jedi Master named
so I've been
George
learning how to
Lucas reemerged from
move
wherever it
like
was he
Harrison
was
Ford, Mark Hamill, and Carrie
Haven't
Fisher.
heard it?
No.
Then how?
Someone called me, Leia, during the battle this afternoon. In my mind,
Im-
the way another Jedi would. Do the rumors say where C'baoth is supposed to be?
It could be an Imperial trap. Don't forget, Yoda said you were the last Jedi.
What was the most difficult scene to animate so far?
But if it's not,
He's on
The
Jodi,
battle
at
scenes.
least according to the rumor Reg quoted for us.
They take a lot of work because obviously you've got so much happening all in one go.
populated.
So chapter 9,
Anyone's taken up
there's also my favourite chapter
this
so
in
far,
15 years.
just because of the battle scene, and
Leaving right away?
I'm really proud of that
I'll
one.
wait till you're ready to go.
And it's also the one that's helped the series win,
I hope you know what you're doing.
or be successful at so many film festivals as well, because that's the one I send them.
Try. Come on, let's go see how they're coming with 3PO.
At last, Master Luke, please tell General Calrissian that
So yeah,
what
this
I
is
did
Matt
was a
voicing
serious
3PO as well.
violation of my primary programming.
It'll be okay, 3PO.
And go back to motion capture for a second. I have no idea how to walk like a pregnant woman.
Master Luke,
So luckily one of my friends was recently pregnant. Well, recently when I was figuring this out. So I asked her for advice on how to
I
walk,
have a protocol droid, and I say again,
um,
covered by
which is an unusual thing to ask someone. Is how do you walk when you're pregnant? But I explained what it's for, and she gave me some advice. We're all in lockdown, so it's not like I could have met up with her and she could have demonstrated, which would have been even more helpful. But I think what she told me was very helpful. I do like this comedy moment with 3PO sounding like Leia. So that's not Matt doing Leia's voice, it's the Erin who voices Leia did 3PO. I think she thought that was quite funny. And we know that in the next chapter the probe droids are monitoring the system, so I thought we'd better show one of those. Right, so I'm going to pause it there. So I'm not going to do chapter 15 today because I want to save that one and do commentary for 15 and 16 together once I've finished 16, which is coming along nicely. Which, as I said earlier, I'm working on it. Still waiting for some of the dialogue to come through so I can finish it. But what I've got so far I'm very happy with. Well, I do try to reference those scenes as much as possible when it works. I don't just put references in for the sake of it. It has to make sense. I can't wait for 16 either because it's the halfway point of the book, and that's going to be an exciting moment. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my commentary. I didn't really have a lot to say about the episodes themselves. I was responding to your comments more, but that's good because I enjoy getting your comments and responding to them. That's one of the reasons I'm here doing this, because it's nice to actually talk to you guys. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream though, because like I said, I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit. I'm glad you enjoy the commentary. Hopefully it won't be so long between the next commentary session. Luckily I don't need to find the space troopers for quite some time. I haven't really given them much thought yet. I'll have to I will have to give them some thought at some point, but that chapter's quite a way off, so I'm not going to worry about it too much just yet. But hopefully I can find something good. Yeah. Not really sure what else I can say at the moment. Oh yeah. I love this scene in one of the Rogue Squadron comics. I've got the Rogue Squadron comics, but it's been a while since I read them, so I'll have to go back and... Yeah, I vaguely remember that. I need to go back and read read those comics. Yeah, so I entered the Star Wars fan film contest, the Cinematic Captures one. I don't know if you are familiar with his channel. He does lots of impressive Unreal videos. But yeah, he had a contest to create a 3 minutes or less Star Wars fan film. It can be live action or animated. So I did a 2-minute video, which I will release on my channel on Thursday. Managed to get in just in time for the contest deadline. So here's hoping a win, because the prizes, there's some excellent prizes for that contest, and they will help with Heir to the Empire. So fingers crossed, and may the force be with us. But yeah, I'll release it on Thursday. I'm not going to do a premiere for it, because the video is currently set to private for the judging process. But if I set it as a premiere, the judges can't watch it until Thursday, which is probably not going to help me win. So I'm just Thursday I'm just going to put it up, make it private. Yeah. Hoarding the loot, but the loot actually turns out to be useless in that particular case. Anarchy. I haven't actually read a lot of Star Wars comics, so I can't really give any recommendations beyond the ones I've read. And the Rogue Squadron books were good. There's a Thrawn trilogy comic adaptation, which is kind of an abbreviated version of the Thrawn trilogy, but it's still good. I'm sure the others in the chat might be able to give you some better recommendations than that. What time? I haven't decided yet. I might just put it up at the same time I'd normally do a premiere. But I'm not actually going to do a premiere. I'm just going to make it public when the time comes. I may do it earlier. I'm not sure yet. But just keep an eye on the channel. It will definitely be made public on Thursday, though. Unless I get told by the contest I'm not allowed to, which I don't think I will, because some of the other people have done that. Excellent, we have some comic book recommendations there. When Dark Horse Comics were losing the license, they did a sale where they basically sold everything for about 10% of the actual price. So I just bought everything. It's digital comics, and I have not read a lot of them yet, because there's a lot to read through when you buy everything, and it's a little bit daunting. But it's nice to have it there. So, oops. I'm sure there are ways to get hold of those comics now. I know that Marvel have reprinted a lot of the stuff. So, yeah, I'm kind of running out of things to say, and I'm losing my voice a bit, so I think I'll end the stream a little bit earlier than I normally would. I usually go for an hour. But it's been great to be able to revisit these 2 chapters and talk to you guys, to get the comic recommendations for Anarchy, to talk about the series and what's coming and the other video and so on. Matthew, welcome back. I'm afraid I'm going to end the stream because we've kind of finished it, but as soon as it's over, if you check the channel, you can go back and catch up with the bits you missed. I believe it takes a couple of minutes for the video to be processed, but it will be there very shortly. So yeah, thank you all for coming. I can say may the Thrawn be with you, which reminds me, if you check the merchandise for the channel, you'll find t-shirts that have that say that on you. May the Thrawn be with you. And carry on working on 16. And I will see you all again next week. Take care, and may the Thrawn be with you again. And thank you.